And good morning again. Howard Wolfson is in the studio with us this morning. Thank you very much for coming.
Good to be with you,
Mr. Wolfson. I think we need to start with this controversy over what Hillary Clinton said about bringing up Robert Kennedy's assassination as one of the reasons that she's going to stay in the race. So let's just start by playing an excerpt of what it was she did say.
Now, my husband did not wrap up the nomination in 1992 until he won the California primary somewhere in the middle of June, right? We all remember Bobby Kennedy was assassinated in June in California.
What did she mean?
Well, I appreciate you playing the entire remarks, because what she clearly said and what she meant was that in previous election cycles, and she referenced first her husband's in 1992 and then 1968, we've had campaigns that have gone on into June and actually beyond. And so her reference to Senator Kennedy was a historical reference. The people in the room in South Dakota where she said this at the newspaper found nothing peculiar about it. She has said this before. There was no commentary or discussion about it when she'd said it before. And I think, unfortunately, her remarks have been blown out of proportion. She very quickly made clear what she meant. If she caused anyone any discomfort or pain, because it is obviously a very sensitive topic, she apologized. But she was talking about it in a historical context.
I take your point, but she sort of apologized. She said, if I have offended anyone. She didn't just say, you know, I made a mistake here. And today, Mr. Wolfson, in the New York Daily News, she offers yet another explanation for this. Let me just read you a couple of the quotes from that. She says, some took my comments entirely out of context and interpreted them to mean something completely different and completely unthinkable. Well, okay.
That's not a different explanation. That's the fact.
But that's sort of saying it's somebody else's fault. And then she says, I realize, let's see, I've got it here. She says, I was deeply dismayed and disturbed that my comment would be construed in that way that flies in the face of everything I stand for and everything I'm fighting for this election. That sounds like somebody who's suggesting that maybe she didn't do anything wrong, that it was the fault of others.
She understood that this topic is a very difficult one for our nation, certainly for the Kennedy family, and she said that. On the other hand, to claim that she was making any kind of other reference in her comments is wrong and a misreading of what she said. And I think some in the news media did overhype this, and I think that's unfortunate. She has said these comments before. Nobody remarked upon them. She said them on that day. Nobody in the room, a group of journalists, remarked upon them. Bobby Kennedy himself, Bobby Kennedy Jr., has said there's nothing wrong with what she said. So let's get to the facts of what she was saying rather than what some in the media have interpreted that she was saying.
Well, over on Fox this morning, Terry McAuliffe, who I guess is her chief fundraiser and one of her main allies, said she hasn't apologized to Obama, nor should she.
Well, her remarks were not about Senator Obama. They had nothing to do with Senator Obama. And so, you know, there would be no reason for her to apologize to Senator Obama. The remarks were not about him.
Well, can't you see how he might have taken offense to this, though?
You know, I think if there was a misunderstanding, let's get beyond the misunderstanding. David Axelrod from the Obama campaign was on one of the other shows this morning.
Said on ABC.
Said that this matters. We're going to put this matter behind us. I think that's the right thing to do. Let's put this in some context. Both candidates now have two goals. They're trying to win the nomination, and they're trying to unify the party at the conclusion of this process. Let's make sure that everything we do is geared towards those twin goals of winning and unifying. That's what Senator Clinton is trying to do.
Well, Mr. Axelrod said that. While he was saying that, Terry McAuliffe was accusing Senator Obama of inflaming the situation, and those were his words, not mine, by waiting for 3 days to say he just thought that she misspoke. I mean, how could he be accused of inflaming the situation?
Well, the Obama campaign did put out a statement almost immediately condemning the remarks. I think that that statement from Senator Obama's campaign was unfortunate. It's not consistent with what we've seen today from David Axelrod, who is speaking for the campaign Sunday morning. I'm going to take David Axelrod's comments at face value. He's a friend of mine. He said that we're going to put this matter behind us. And I think for the Democratic Party, for the unity that we are all looking towards after we have a nominee. We still believe that nominee will be Senator Clinton. We need to do that. We need to keep the twin goals in mind of victory and unity.
Well, what are you going to take Terry McAuliffe's words as? He's a member of your campaign team. Do you think perhaps he should have kind of held his fire this morning?
No, absolutely not. I think what the Obama campaign did on Friday was unfortunate. I think it was unfortunate to attack Senator Clinton's remarks without knowing fully what she had said. That's not what Senator Obama's campaign is doing today. We have a different set of remarks from David Axelrod this morning on Sunday than we saw from the Obama campaign on Friday. I think that's where we are today. That's a good place to be. I think both campaigns are going to move forward with the twin goals of victory and unity in mind. But there's no question that it was unfortunate and unnecessary, and in my opinion, inflammatory for the Obama campaign to attack Senator Clinton on Friday for these remarks without obviously knowing the full facts or context.
But you will not in any way criticize Terry McAuliffe for what he said this morning.
I think Terry McAuliffe was absolutely right.
Really?
Absolutely.
You think he was absolutely right?
Yes.
All right. Well, I think we've probably gone as far as you're going to go this morning on this. So let's talk about something else.